Now let's start with the actual workouts. So I want you to go in this folder and start with the first workout right over here. So let me collapse my sidebar, and this is what I want you to do. I want you to mirror a string. So for a given input of S, which is a string, I simply want you to print out its mirror image. So for example, if you go a little down, if the sample input is Chico, then this should be your output. It's exactly the mirror of Chico, O, K, I, H and C. And for your convenience, I have created a function right over here called as mirror. If you want, you can use this function or you can create your own. It's all up to you. Give it a try on your own, or else we can do it together. So I hope you were able to do it. If not, let us do it right now. So this toMirror is a string. Now remember that strings are iterables. You can iterate over a string. So first let me write the body of the function and then I will explain what's exactly happening. So let me take out all of these things. Let me create a variable called as values. The first thing that I want to do is I want to convert the string to a list, because reversing a list is very easy. So let's see how to do that. To convert the string to a list, we can simply use a cast. So I can say I want to create a list of my variable which is called as toMirror. Now if you hover over values, this is actually a list of our strings. Now we simply have to reverse it. So we can say values.reverse. Now we simply have to return it. So let's go to the next line, and here we can say return. But here is one small problem. Values is a list and we want the output as a string. So we need to create a string out of our list, and we can do that very easily by using join. So let me show you how it is to be done. So this is an empty string and I want to join my list of values. So let me save it. Now let us accept the user input. So let me create a variable called as toMirror and let me prompt the user. I can say what do you want to mirror, and let us print out the output. So we can say I want to print the output of my function of mirror, and we simply need to pass the variable toMirror to it. That's it. Just save the file and let us try running this file. So it's asking me for an input. Let me say Chico and we have the output. Let us try one more time. So let me say ABC and we have the output of CBA. If you are still confused, let me show in my IPython shell what's exactly happening. So let me go to my terminal, and this is my IPython shell. You can also use your Python shell. Let me show how to use your Python shell. Let me exit from my IPython. You can simply type Python and enter. This will take you to your Python shell. But IPython is a much better shell, so that's why I'm going to use IPython. Let me exit. If you don't have IPython, you can simply install it by typing pip install IPython. So let us go inside the IPython shell. I can simply type IPython and we are now inside our IPython shell. Let me clear up my terminal. Now let us go back to the code. The first thing that we are doing is we are simply converting the string to a list. Let's see that in action. So our variable was toMirror and the value that we passed was Chico. Now let us create another variable called as values is equal to list of my variable called as toMirror. Now let's see what's happening. Let us print out value, and you can see our string has been converted into a list. That's what we want. Now we simply have to reverse the list, and that we are doing by using an inbuilt function on the list which is called as reverse. So we can simply say value dot reverse. Let us print out value one more time, and you can see our list has been reversed. Now the last step is we simply want to join the list and we want to return. For joining we use another inbuilt method, so let me show you that as well. So let us say value this time is my join, and I want to join my value. Let us print out value, and here we have it. We have successfully reversed our list, and this is what we have been doing inside this function. But we can do much better. I don't want all of this. We can have a single line solution, and let us go to the next line. Here I can simply say I want to return to mirror, and then I can simply slice it right over here. So I can use my syntax colon colon -1. Let me try to run this, and then I will explain what's happening. Let us go back to our terminal, and it is asking me for an input. Let me again write Chico, and we have the right output. So let's see what's happening in this solution. As I explained before, strings are iterables, so we can create slices of strings. Let us go back to our IPython shell and see what's happening. Let me clear all of this. And this was our variable called as toMirror, and we have assigned the value of Chico to it. Now since strings are iterables, we can slice them. So what happens if I just say toMirror, and if I just put a single quote and close the bracket, let's see what's happening. We get the entire string back. Now let's see if we use the same syntax, but if we use 2 colons, we again get the same syntax. So what this colon stands for, the value before the colon means the starting index, and the value after the colon means the ending index. Now suppose if I just say I want to start at 0 and I want to end at 2, let me take out the next colon. Now let us see the output. So you can see on the 0th index we have C, the next alphabet is H, and this slicing is going to stop just before our second index. That's why we have the output of C and H. We can use the same logic to reverse our string. Now what we have to do is, instead of going from left to the right, we simply have to go from the right to the left. So let's see how we can do that. So I simply want to say to mirror. Since I want to say that I want to start from a 0th index, I can actually skip writing 0. So I can just put a quote. Now I want to go all the way to the end, so I don't need to write the second argument as well. But since we want to go from the right to the left, we need to tell that we want to reverse by putting -1. And that's it. Let me enter. Oh, I forgot my closing bracket. Let me close the bracket, and we have the string in a reverse format. And that's what we are doing right over here. So we are simply creating a slice in a reverse order, and we are returning the string.